Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. I want to do a video today talking about the stock market again because we continue to see the Dow plummeting and S&P 500 is more the same. And I think this is very significant. I think we are on the beginning, we are entering the next major recession. In fact, I think it might end up being, it depends on certain world events, how the Fed responds, how the U.S. government responds, what the trade war, how the trade wars unfold. But it very seriously could be the greatest depression, economic depression that we have ever seen. And when I say we, I mean humanity. Because the global debt crisis is out of control. Printing has been going on for approximately 100, or let's say since the Fed came into existence in, I want to say 1913, 1917, something like, I think maybe it was post World War I, when the Federal Reserve became the Central Bank of America. And ever since then, printing has occurred. For like 200 years in America's history, there was zero inflation. Zero inflation. So a dollar saved was a dollar kept. And houses didn't go up majorly in value, and commodities didn't go up in value. And then along comes the central bank and Federal Reserve with its implementation of mandatory annual inflation aimed at driving economic growth. And suddenly, for 100 years, we've had a diminishing dollar with appreciating assets. But know that the value of the dollar, that know that the value of your home doesn't reflect the number that you can sell it for. Understand that, because the home is only as good as, yes, it's a place to put your, rest your head and keep your family safe and, all that. That's great. But the prices globally are ludicrous, and it's because inflation has made each dollar worthless, at least worth less, and as a result, we need to throw more paper money at the same commodity, same assets. And so, yeah, your house has gone up, yeah, stocks have gone up, yeah, bonds have gone up, but it's all going to end, and I think it might be ending now. And so that's why I'm putting so much content together on this issue. I mean, ask yourself the question. Don't forget about what I think. What's going on with the China-America trade war? It's not resolving itself. It seems to be going worse. There's people saying that China's economy is collapsing, and I'm of the opinion the American economy is collapsing despite all of the rhetoric. The Fed is saying things like the American job rates are looking excellent and at historic lows, and I think that's lies and garbage and propaganda, because they exclude people who stop looking, and they exclude people who have part-time jobs. So they manufacture this data in such a way that, yeah, it sounds good, but the actual joblessness is crazy. And President Trump said this stuff before he was president. So these guys, these politicians, they come at it like, if it's a blue politician that's in office, then job statistics are a lie and the deficit is unsustainable. But once there's a red politician in office, job statistics are accurate, and the stock market is at all-time highs because we're awesome. And you know what I mean? Like, it's propaganda and spin. Don't fall for it. Stock market's at all-time highs as of October 3rd, so 4 weeks ago. Dow and S&P 500 were at all-time highs, and it's not sustainable. It's been 9 years, 8 years in the making. It's time for a dip. It's going to be more than a dip. It's going to be 20 to 50%, and it could be more. But that's my best kind of preliminary guess. The Fed can print money still to kind of try and inflate and fight that, but frankly not for much longer. They've created, I think, $4 trillion worth of U.S. debt. So the Federal Reserve owns about $4 trillion worth of U.S. debt, and they're creating that money to pay for those bonds with nothing. So at some point, and I think in the very near future, they're going to go to buy more bonds with made-up money, and the American citizens are going to revolt. It's going to be there's going to be a demand for that to stop happening, because it's literally promising the future prosperity of your children to these banks. And so it's not sustainable. The bubble needs to pop. It would be good if it popped. It wouldn't be good for individuals. Lots of people are going to lose their shirts, lose their homes. And then as the market spirals, jobs will be lost, and we'll see a major downturn in everything. So it'll be miserable. It's going to be very difficult, and it'll be years before America properly recovers. And it'll probably be under a new dollar. Not if it's the US dollar, it's going to need to be backed by gold. But I think, frankly, the US dollar, the US government has burnt all of their confidence, all of their credibility with respect to, reasonable prudence and, financial stability, and know the global economy is not, the global network of nations is not going to endure their manipulations any longer. It's going to, and when the dollar falls, it's either going to be the euro, or maybe it'll be SDRs, or maybe it'll be a new gold-backed fiat, like a fiat that's actually linked, not a fiat, like a money that's linked to gold or silver, or literal gold or silver. But something's got to change. And like I said, just look at the factors. China trade war with America, that's a big deal. Those are two of the biggest economies in the world. And the only people that win trade wars are those who stay out of them. And then recently, America was fighting a trade war with Canada, one of their major trade partners. And they say they won that, but still. And then you also have, I guess on November 4th, Trump's going to be implementing some tariffs on oil coming out of Iran. That's a big deal. It's just, and Iran and Russia and China are all kind of working together already to deal with oil and to circumvent America's monetary controls. So there's divisiveness, and there's like kind of a groundwork that's being laid for what might be a literal physical guns and bombs war, because China isn't going to be bullied into absolute poverty if they can avoid it. And at the same time, neither will Iran and Russia. And so this is huge. This is a big deal. I'm going to keep talking about it because it's such a big deal. But if you're in the stock market, I'd say get out, cut your losses, move into silver, move into gold, because they've been in such a downturn for so long. And you want to buy when no one else is looking to buy. You want to buy when the asset is in the red. You don't look for 7-8 year bull cycles and then buy in. If you bought into stocks in the last 12 months, that's you. You're a bag holder. Recognize that greed led you into that decision, and cut your losses and move into something where, it might be another 6 months. Yeah, it might be another 5 years before silver really begins to blow up. But there is no scenario where bullion doesn't thrive moving forward. And so yeah, guys, that's all for today. Like and subscribe. Please, I love your support. Comments are really appreciated, guys. I'm still just trying to get started here. Really appreciate feedback. And find me on Steam at Infidel1258. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, for your time and attention. Have an awesome day. God bless you.